Hi, my name is Dr. Fox, licensed psychologist in the state of Texas and an expert in the area of personality disorders. And today's video is on the BPD lens. The BPD lens, this causes you to see the world through a distorted view. The BPD lens causes folks to see the world in distorted ways. All personality disorders are developmental in many ways. And as individuals learn to cope with their personality disorder symptoms, they develop these maladaptive strategies, and many of these strategies develop to compensate for a distorted view of the world. And this is seeing the world through what I call the BPD lens, and that's what we're going to talk about here. We're going to discuss the BPD lens, but also how to challenge it. So let's get started. So what is your BPD lens? Viewing things through your BPD lens is like wearing glasses with the wrong prescription. This has caused you to only see the negative side of yourself and the world around you, which influences how you think and feel about yourself, others, and situations. Now, these distortions have played a big part in the continued existence of your BPD. Your BPD lens encourages you to use negative beliefs, behaviors, and patterns to get your needs and wants met. Using your BPD lens results in short-term rewards and long-term consequences. Nonetheless, people with BPD tend to keep viewing things through their BPD lens in order to maintain those short-term rewards. This causes, however, a continuous cycle. So it's maladaptive surface structure behavior, engaging in these maladaptive beliefs, behaviors, and patterns, which leads to a short-term reward, but the consequence, right, is down the road. But folks with BPD, a lot of times they believe if I keep engaging in these activities or these behaviors and thoughts, so on and so forth, that encourage these short-term rewards, I'll just keep living on short-term rewards. But those long-term consequences catch up eventually. And when you know that your BPD lens is there and how it distorts your vision and the cycle it perpetuates, okay, you can begin to challenge those distortions. Take a moment and think about how your BPD lens causes you to see yourself. I want you to ask yourself a question. Okay? I see myself as, what came to your mind? Was it negative? Was it hurtful? Was it reminiscent of things someone from your past, someone who was close to you or is close to you, tells you, okay? Or how they describe you? Okay? This internalized and perceptual definition is a big part of your BPD lens. Now, let's think about how you see someone who is close to you. All right? Who's closest to you? Okay? Say to yourself, I see blank as hurtful, harmful, cruel, perfect, whatever it is. Okay? So you want to ask yourself, I see, and add that person's name or that image that popped in your head. Okay? And then what follows? Okay? How do you see them? Describe how you see them. Okay? Now think of a word that fits for him, her, or they. Okay? Think about it. Okay? This distorted view, okay? Now this causes you to react in maladaptive ways. Okay? And a lot of times those maladaptive strategies include self-harm, drug use, promiscuity, violence, can cause you to isolate yourself when you really need to be around others. Whatever your maladaptive beliefs, behaviors, and patterns may be that perpetuate your BPD. Now, how do we challenge that BPD lens? Now that we know what it is, now that we know how to find it, how do we challenge that BPD lens? You can challenge your BPD lens in distorted view by using an authentic view. Now, your authentic view will be based upon balance. And when you're balanced, you feel calm, collected, and clear, as opposed to when you use your BPD lens, which causes you to feel unbalanced and filled with a lot of negative beliefs, thoughts, feelings, you're overwhelmed. The opposite of that helps encourage your authentic view. And an authentic view is a balanced view. And that is when you're calm, clear, and collected. Well, how do you do that? Well, let's follow these 3 steps as an example. Step 1 is you want to find a quiet, comfortable place to sit or to lie down. Just take a second, sit, lie down. Take a typical breath, followed by a deep breath. Now, a deep breath is, okay, you can put your hand on your belly if you want. You breathe in, and it expands, and then out. So we're going to breathe in. Your belly's going to go out like a balloon filling up. and then you let it out, and the balloon deflates. Okay? Now that helps you relax. Now what's interesting is that when most people breathe with their chest, so their chest goes up, which encourages an anxiety response. It's sending a signal to your brain that you need to be in fight, flight, or freeze response. But when you breathe with your belly, and maybe when you just did it, did you feel like a little lightheaded maybe? You felt a little kind of groovy? Groovy's good. That's what we want. We want to be calm, collected, and clear. Okay. Now last is to just slowly breathe out through your mouth and your nose, whatever feels natural for you. Just want to let that out. Do this a few times. That is your sense of calm, collected, and clear. Okay. Now that you know how to find your calm, collected, and clear, what that is, okay, what's a word that really fits for you? It can't be all negative. Okay? It can be wonderful and positive. It can be wonderful. Well, actually, it could be wonderful and positive. I don't mind, right? But what is it? I think a lot of folks with BPD, they gravitate toward this negative definition of themselves. And that in large part is because your BPD lens keeps, or has over the years, distorted the view of how you see yourself. You're not all negative. I have not met a client of mine with BPD who is 100% negative, who is a horrible human being, who is a horrible person. I've not met them. And I've met a lot of folks with BPD. Okay? So I just don't believe that. So we have to find, what is that, right? What is that word that fits for you? What is that balanced word that fits for you? Okay. Now your BPD lens is going to push back when you start to do this, right? It does that when it feels threatened. When you challenge it with change, it starts to push back a little bit. Okay. So remember, it's hard to change, but it's not impossible. Okay. Resist your default thoughts and behaviors. I'll put a link to a video that I did on that. Resist that of going back to those things and doing things differently. Your BPD lens is a part of that. Okay. So will this work overnight? Well, the new prescription of authenticity takes time, but try it many times each day. Try that breathing many times each day. All right? Now resist your BPD trying to bring you back to those maladaptive and unhealthy beliefs, behaviors, and patterns. Okay? By showing you a distorted view of the world. Right? You're going to have this little thought that's going to pop in your head and say, see, such and such, see how terrible you are, see this, see that. Or someone maybe is going to walk by you and they're not going to talk to you. And you may interpret that you have low value, or that person is a jerk, or whatever it may be. That's your BPD lens at work, because we forget that we're 1 in 1 millionth of someone else's issues. Okay? So it's important to remember that. Okay? Look out for that BPD lens, because it's, for a lot of folks, a lot of my clients, it's everywhere, and it's very, very impactful. And you can resist your BPD lens. Empower yourself by being calm, collected, and clear. Okay? You want to build your authentic view of self, others, and the world around you. Okay? It has helped so many of my clients when we just get to the point of working with that BPD lens, that they can identify it, that inaccuracy, and build with their sense of self that they're not as horrible as they think, they're not as bad as they think, they are able, they can do the things that their BPD lens and their BPD was telling them that they couldn't do, and they grow beyond it, and they really do. And your authentic view is a big part of that. Okay? It's important to do this, and you can do this. It is possible. If you want to learn more about the BPD lens and your authentic view, I cover this extensively in my workbook, the Borderline Personality Disorder Workbook, and you can check that out. Please leave any comments about this video or any thoughts that you have about it. That would be great. Please subscribe if you haven't. That would be nice. And I hope that you found this beneficial. And please try those things, and you can do it. And this is something that can be really beneficial. It has for a lot of my clients. And I think that it could be for you as well. So thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.